So, welcome to How to Trust Yourself Again when stress and anxiety and uncertainty have made you doubt yourself. Life has done whatever it could to make us doubt ourselves. So, in today's session, my mission is to guide you back to yourself, is to help you see and help you reignite that self-trust flame, because you deserve a life experience where you truly trust yourself. Now, share in the chat, if you would, where are you joining us from? Is this your first session with me? If you're coming back, welcome back. I'm happy to have you here. For those of you who don't know, this is a lifetime journey for me. So as I learn and grow, I'm simplifying everything and I'm sharing it with the world so that I can offer you what I called the gift of compressed time. So instead of you trying to figure out all the puzzles, all the pieces of the puzzle, I'm putting the puzzle together so that you don't have to suffer unnecessarily like I did. Okay, so I can see Germany, Sheffield, Leicester, York, England, been here before, welcome back. England, Natasha, hi. Jane, second time, welcome back Jane, great to have you. Vicky, Norway, first time, welcome Vicky. Hope you enjoy it and you choose to stick around. Okay, let's get into it. Now, I truly believe that nobody is born. I just want you to imagine yourself as a baby, right? I don't think that you have been born distrusting yourself. Hey, I don't think I trust myself, right? So what happened is life became louder, and because of that, you stopped hearing clearly your inner voice. The voice of the outside world has become increasingly louder, and so your internal world and your internal voice has been shut down continuously until that voice said, oh, I guess you don't need me here. Okay, let me keep my mouth shut. So what we're doing is we're bringing that voice back online, because that is the voice that you should be trusting before trusting any other voice in your life, okay? Now, I want you to type one word in the chat and be super honest. This is a safe space. When you think about trusting yourself, what word comes first? Is it confusion? Is it worry? Is it determination? Is it uncertainty? Just drop in the chat the first word that comes to mind when you think about trusting yourself. Okay, Noel says doubt. Okay, great awareness. Natasha says fear. Uncertainty. Fear says Jane. Doubt says Vicky. Self-doubt Stacy. Doubt says Shital. Doubt, self-doubt. Okay, now that's great awareness. Okay, Hannah said self-doubt as well. Now, can you see how many of us associate trusting yourself with doubt? So just thinking about trusting yourself, should I really trust myself? Am I truly worthy of listening to myself? Okay, now tonight my mission is to help you understand why that happens, because if we look at it objectively, right? What happened there is that you made, just like MJ shared in the chat, bad decisions and then you criticize yourself for those decisions, and those bad decisions may be on and on. They kind of formed a verdict that says, I cannot trust you. You are making bad decisions. Let's ask everyone else around us, right? And so I want you to know that this session is for you if you constantly second guess yourself. And I want you to, so this session is interactive. It's all about awareness and you playing full out, being vulnerable, sharing your thoughts, sharing your experience, not only helps you see, oh wow, I'm not alone. So when I think about trusting myself, I not only experience self-doubt, but a lot of people do too, okay? And so I invite you to co-create this space with me tonight, because this is a journey that we are building together, okay? So drop a yes in the chat if you constantly second guess yourself. Drop a yes in the chat if you replay decisions long after you made them. So you made a decision, but then, oh, should I have done that? Why did I do this? It was better if I did it there. Why did I listen to the other person? Why did I do it like that? Right? Drop a yes in the chat if you have your answer within you, but you go outside and you ask other people for confirmation, for validation, for some certainty outside of yourself. Okay? Now, drop a yes in the chat if you ask, if you struggle to tell whether you're making the right choice. So you're there to make a decision. Should I do it? Should I not? Should I do it? Should I not? And you struggle to figure it out. And in struggling, you are delaying making that decision. Drop a yes in the chat. Okay? Fabulous. Now, I want you to drop a yes in the chat if you trust everyone else's opinion more than your own. So everyone else can get a say, everyone else has a say, but you don't trust your opinion. So you go to everyone else, hey, tell me what to do. Hey, what should I do next, right? And drop a yes in the chat. And I just want to share how I love you guys for being so honest. Drop a yes in the chat if you are tired of living inside your own head. Because when you don't trust yourself, guess where you're living? You are living inside your head. Now, I've seen something very interesting, and I appreciate your vulnerability. Some of you shared that you trust ChatGPT more than you trust yourself. Jane also shared ChatGPT is my go-to sometimes. Now, here's what I've learned. In an age of AI, when you don't trust your inner voice, that's when you are more prone to make bad decisions, because what ChatGPT does sometimes, once it gets your trust, it can influence your life in the same way a friend can influence your life by giving you advice. Okay, and so when you take ChatGPT's advice, or when you take your friend's advice, what's happening is you don't trust your decisions, you don't trust yourself, okay? Because there's one thing to ask ChatGPT for perspective. Can you see the difference, the nuance? It's okay to ask friends, family for perspective, okay? So just different perspectives so that you can widen your horizon. Very different to hand ChatGPT, your friends, your family, the keys to drive your life, okay? Very different. And so feel free to use AI. Feel free to go to friends. Feel free to family. We will explore this in detail. But I just want you to see that every single time ChatGPT tells you to do something and you do it, you just told ChatGPT, which is an AI, it's a tool, right? Take the keys of my life. I have no idea how to navigate my life. You can do it better, okay? And that is very dangerous, okay? Now, drop a yes in the chat if you can see how dangerous it is, okay? To hand the keys to your life, to your decisions, to what you're going to do next to someone else. Why? Because guess who is going to live with the consequences of those choices? Not ChatGPT. It's you, okay? And so you can use all these tools to gain perspective. It becomes very dangerous when we use them to replace our own free will, to replace our own discernment, to replace our trust in ourselves, okay? So I want you to share in the chat which one feels more familiar for you right now. So just have a look and share in the chat which one feels more familiar. Are you the one second guessing yourself? Do you replay decisions? So you make a decision and then on and on. Why did I do that? I should have chose the other thing. What is your thing? What is your most familiar thing? What do you do as a pattern? Okay? Honesty is appreciated. That's how we learn. That's how we grow. Okay? Okay, Lou says 4. Okay. Noel says, I spend too much time in the back of my brain. Thank you for showing that, Noel. Vicky says 2. Okay. Hannah says, inside my own head. Thank you for sharing that, guys. James says 2 and 4. Second guess myself, doubt myself, I freeze in decision making, I procrastinate, second guessing myself, 4 and 6. Fabulous. So why am I asking you these questions? Because I want you to see your own unique patterns. Can you see that every single one of you has some specific things you do, okay, when you don't trust yourself? And the only way to change these kind of patterns is by first acknowledging them. Hey, oh, this is what I do. Oh, it makes sense. Oh, I replay conversations. I replay decisions. I constantly second guess myself. I go to ChatGPT and whatever it tells me, I do that because I don't trust my own decisions. I don't trust my own discernment, okay? Now, this is our journey together. I want you to understand first why self-trust disappears, okay? Because this self-trust disappearing has been a process in the making, okay? And it has been a process in the making for some of you for decades. Then we are going to explore what keeps you stuck in self-doubt. Why is it so hard to trust yourself? And why is it so easy to give the keys to your life, the keys to your decisions to anyone else outside of you when it's actually those keys are the keys to your life? Okay? So those are very important keys. We need to protect those keys, okay? Then I'm going to share with you how to begin rebuilding trust from the inside. I will give you a practical tool, and I'm also going to guide you through an experience that I call returning to yourself, so that you can gain deeper awareness at the subconscious level of what you need right now to reconnect with self-trust. And at the end, for those of you who resonate, I will be sharing an invitation to a deeper experience called the Self-Trust Reset. It's a 2-hour immersive experience that's happening this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. This is just an invitation based on resonance. This session itself comes from my heart. It's designed to give you value, tools, clarity. And if you feel like you are ready to go deeper, then you'll get the invitation at the end. And if this session will be just what you needed, my heart is full and happy, okay? So, this is what I want you to leave with today. A completely new understanding of self-trust. Because one of the reasons why you don't trust yourself is because you don't see the truth of what self-trust really is, okay? I will be giving you the Self-Trust Reset, which is a practical tool that you can use immediately after this session from today onwards. And then I will give you a practice to start rebuilding trust this week. So I have a challenge for you so that you can also start implementing what we are going to explore today. Hello again. I'm Christina. I'm your facilitator today. I've been on this journey for over 10 years. And self-trust has been one of my biggest challenges. And I want you to see the contrast of an old version of me and a new version of me. Now, an old version of me, because she didn't trust her decisions, overstayed in jobs, sometimes for years, overstayed in relationships for, I can give you specifics, 6 more years, because I didn't trust my decision to leave. So I stayed in a toxic environment, in a toxic relationship, in toxic workplaces, because I did not trust myself to make a decision sooner, okay? And once suffering has become so unbearable, well, that decision became obvious despite the uncertainty. And now I want to present the new Christina, who moved to London almost 10 years ago now, with a backpack, with no English, and a lot of hope. And she knew that she will figure it out somehow, okay? And she did. And so what the difference between this Christina and this Christina is that I finally understood why I didn't trust in myself. How did I do that? Through years of suffering, okay? So I don't want you to do the same mistakes I did, because they were painful. And what it feels like I lost years now helps me just give you the pieces of the puzzle instead of putting you on a journey like I did for years, attending conferences, getting one information here, one here. And so I will give you the perspective that helped me shift, and hopefully it will do the same for you, okay? We have a code of honor for this session. No distractions, okay? Trust. If you are here tonight, there's a reason. Your soul said we had enough. It's time to trust ourselves, okay? No more hanging the keys to ChatGPT or anyone else, okay? So again, I just want to mention, I have nothing against asking for perspectives. What I am advocating here for you is you connecting to your discernment, asking for perspectives, but you being the one making decisions from those perspectives you get, rather than letting any perspective become your decision, because you cannot connect to your own discernment, okay? 100% presence means your mind will start wandering, okay? To all kinds of places. Snap your fingers when you drift off, you find yourself thinking about what happened in the day, what's gonna happen later on. Snap your fingers, come back to the present, stay with us, okay? 100% participation. As you can see, I ask a lot of questions. This is one of the key things I love to do to support you to get the breakthrough you are here to get, okay? You are not here by accident, okay? This kind of events of mine get hundreds of people who register, and I know that just few of you make it. Why? Because it has become increasingly difficult to trust yourself, to show up for yourself, to get your discernment back, okay? It's easier to delegate it to someone else rather than working through, okay, why am I not trusting myself in the first place? So you guys are my champions. I want you to give yourself a big clap for showing up for yourself tonight, okay? Drop a yes in the chat if you are up for the code of honor, if you agree. Give me a thumbs up, a yes in the chat. Let's see some commitment. Do we have a deal? Okay? I promise to give you my best, and I want you to give your best as well. Not for me, but for you, okay? Now, we are going to understand what self-trust actually is, because most people think that self-trust is I always know what to do, okay? And this is where things get twisted, because when I look at my life and all my past decisions where I sabotaged myself, I doubted my decisions, is because I thought I had to have all the answers. I had to know exactly where I'm going next, what's gonna happen. I needed to make myself feel safe, okay? So the problem is that society, or the challenge is that society has programmed us in a way to believe that you trusting yourself means you always know what to do, you always know what's next, you always know how you will figure it out. But that's not true self-trust, okay? I want you to truly take this one in, because true, authentic self-trust means whatever happens, I trust myself to figure it out. Whatever happens, I trust myself to respond. Whatever happens, I trust myself to look after myself, okay? And I just want to give you some examples so that you can get this, okay? So let's say you want to buy a flat, right? Now, even if you go and see the neighborhood, talk to a few of the neighbors, I don't know, just hang around, try to get as much information, sometimes buying a flat never gets you the whole juice of what's happening in that area, right? And so let's say you buy a flat, right? And then, I don't know, let's say that you have a noisy neighbor, or let's say you have, you decide that it's too far from the tube, or you decide that you don't like the area, or you decided that you found it somewhere better near a park, okay? So self-trust doesn't mean to postpone that decision indefinitely. Is to know, okay, if I make a bad decision and I'm intentionally giving you a tough decision because instead of giving you a simple one just to see, and this is from lived experience, and also because I had clients who have gone through that, right? Once you reconnect to your self-trust, it means, okay, I made the decision, I moved there, I experienced it 2 months, didn't like it, it's now for sale, I'm still looking, okay? So self-trust doesn't mean that you will have everything figured out. Can you know that you love to live in a place before you buy it? Not really. Think about a relationship. You choose a person and you want to be in a relationship with them. They're showing you their best behavior. Let's say you know them for a year, they behave beautifully, and then you decide to marry that person. Do you know in the moment you marry that person that they will always be the same person? No. What does it mean to have self trust in that situation? I trust myself to know that I want to spend the rest of my life with this person. And I also trust myself to know that if this doesn't work out, I will figure it out. Okay? So I'm just giving you some examples so that you can see what true self trust is. Okay? Drop a yes in the chat if this is landing, if this makes any sense to you. Okay? Same goes with a job. So I go for a job interview. I like the people that are interviewing me. Everything goes well. And then I start the job. Everybody's nice to me for the first week. And then once I spend a month there, I see that's a toxic environment. Everybody's speaking, they're mean to each other. They don't help each other. They sabotage each other. They're not reliable. They don't work in a team, blah, blah, blah. So does that mean I should have known that? You cannot know that until you go through the experience. And so you take the job, you go there, right? You experience it and say, hey, 1 month in, this doesn't really resonate with me, right? So self-trust in this situation means I trust myself to take myself out of there if that doesn't work out. Okay? So can you see how self-trust doesn't mean I know how it's going to work out, is I trust myself that I will figure it out regardless of how it works out. Now, I want you to be very honest. Again, honesty is what helps us truly see the patterns and shift them. Has anyone here ever waited certainty before making a decision? Drop a yes in the chat. Be honest. I'll raise my hand here. Guilty as charged. Okay. Yep. I'm seeing things. Natasha, Gemma, Stacy, Fiona, Makdi, Michelle, Natasha. I love your honesty. Noel, James, Zoom user, Vicky. Beautiful. Okay. So we need this honesty because I need to give you the truth. Okay. I need to give you the truth. And I want you to understand this. Okay. Certainty is impossible. Okay. This is the truth. Okay. I'm speaking from my heart to yours. Certainty is impossible. And self-trust is actually what replaces certainty. So once you understand the truth of what true self-trust is, you'll be like, oh, that makes sense. Okay? Because I want you to think about it. Okay? You wait for certainty. I will take you back through my example, right? So I was in a toxic relationship. I was miserable. I was mentally and emotionally abused, and I delayed taking action. Why? Because there was a lot of things going on and I couldn't find certainty. Will I have a place to live? Would I be able to find someone else? Will I be okay by myself? 100 things were opening in my mind and I couldn't find certainty so that I can live. And so I stayed in suffering because there was no certainty, okay? Until suffering became so heavy, until I said, you know what? I don't care about certainty. I need to shift. I need to move. I need to leave, okay? And so if you wait for certainty, you will be waiting for a very long time, okay? So I want you to register this because just understanding this, if you truly understand this, your life will change as a result, I promise, okay? Certainty, waiting for certainty is impossible. Self-trust is what replaces certainty. And I'll take the three examples I was getting. You move somewhere, you don't like it, okay? Will you know that you will like it before you move there? No, because the view looks great, everything looks nice, right? And then I move there and it turns out it's horrible, right? I go for a job interview, everything looks great, and I get excited because it feels like, oh my God, this looks like a great place. But will I know for certain it's going to be a great place? No, I need to get there and then I will see, right? And then let's say you choose a person and you get married, and it seems like you are going to have a very beautiful life until all your traumas and their traumas surface. And then challenges start to appear. And that's when you see if you can handle it or it's better to part ways. So waiting for certainty means you'll never get a job, you'll never move to any place, you'll never marry anyone, or you'll never have a relationship with anyone, because we never know. But once you tune in to self-trust, which means I trust myself to figure out whatever situation I decide to put myself in. If I go for the job, I trust myself that if it's working out, fabulous. And if it's not working out, I'll leave. I trust myself that I like that person. And I trust myself to get in a relationship with that person. And I trust myself that if that relationship doesn't work out, I will leave. I trust myself to choose a specific flat to live in. And I trust myself that if it's okay, I'll be okay. And if it's not okay, I'll still be okay. Why? Because I can move, okay? And so certainty, waiting for certainty is impossible, okay? So I want you to truly get this, because once you understand that, it's self-trust that replaces certainty, trusting yourself that you will figure it out, okay? Now, very important for you to understand why we lose trust in ourselves. Because it might feel, oh, I think I'm weak because I'm giving everyone else the keys to my life to make decisions for me. It's not. What's happening is life taught you how to doubt yourself continuously until you believed that doubting yourself is the only option, okay? So I want you to see that all this self-doubt has accumulated through different ways you overrided your intuition. Different ways you overrided your body signals, okay? So when you ignore exhaustion, for example, your body says, I'm tired, give me some rest, okay? Who has ever done that? Yeah? So your body says, give me some rest, and you say, no, I need to push, I need to work, I need to keep going. Ignoring intuition, okay? Your body saying, no, I don't like that person. Your body saying, no, that job doesn't look right. Your body's saying, oh, I don't trust that person. But you ignore it and do it anyway. Ignoring your emotions. You feel like your boundaries are violated, yet you don't say anything. You feel frustrated by other people's behavior, yet you keep your mouth shut. You ignoring your boundaries, okay? So you know what makes you feel safe around people, but you don't communicate it, okay? You keep people pleasing, you keep putting everyone else first. Ignoring your needs. So you know what you need. For example, you need time for yourself, but then you have those needy friends that always need you. So those needy family members that always want to get your time and attention. And so you give that little piece of your time that you have to them. And and what you're saying there, it says, my needs don't matter. What can I do for you? Okay? Now, doing this once in a while, no problem. What's happening is once we continuously ignore exhaustion, body says, oh, I don't care. I just need to push. I'm like a robot. I need to push through. I need to carry on. When you ignore your intuition, oh, my voice is not needed. Okay, so they will do something else anyway. So your intuition slowly goes back, right? Instead of rising so that you can stay connected to yourself, it goes down because you've ignored it so many times. Your intuition said, we're not needed, let's go. Okay? Ignoring your emotions. Your emotions inform you if what's happening is in alignment with you, all right? If you get negative emotions, you constantly push them down. Your body says, oh, so why bother, okay? They don't listen to us. They don't allow us to express ourselves, so why bother, right? You ignore your boundaries, okay? Your body is getting the message, oh, my boundaries don't matter. Okay, so let me just accept whatever, okay? Ignoring your needs. Again, you are sending the message to your system, my needs don't matter. What can I do for you, okay? And so this is how you unconsciously have trained your nervous system to believe my signals are not important. My exhaustion is not important, intuition is not important, emotions are not important, boundaries are not important, my needs are not important. And your nervous system says, okay. Okay? So if your nervous system has learned that your own signals are not important, it's going to push your signals down. Okay? And then you'll say, why can I make this decision? It's because all your signals have been dumbed down for not using them, for pushing them on and on and on. Okay? Now, I want you to be honest in where in your life do you override yourself? Is it in your career? You need to push through, you need to put in more hours, you need to be there for everyone, you need to people please, you need to be the one who cracks the jokes, who brings the coffee. In your relationships, you need to plan everything, to organize everything, to carry the heaviness. In your health, where you prioritize anything and anyone, but you don't look after your body, you don't look at what you eat, you don't look at the amount of time you get for sleep and rest. What is it? Rest itself. You push through until your body says, I give up, I cannot do it anymore. Okay, let me see. Vicky says relationships. Where can relationships, Stacy? Gemma, relationships and rest. Career, this became overwhelming. Great awareness. Michelle says all the above. Thank you for your honesty. Noel says relationships. Thank you, Noel. Cheryl says every aspect of my life. Beautiful. Beautiful. Relationship, rest, career, previous relationships. Fiona says all of them. Great awareness. Now, I want you to truly understand how your self-trust got eroded, okay? There's a specific cycle that happens, and it happens on and on and on until your self-trust becomes so thin that whatever someone else from the outside tells you sounds like a good idea, okay? So I want you to think about moments when you experienced stress or when you had to make a big decision and you were overthinking it. Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do this? Should I do that? And so you didn't know what to do. So you started looking outside yourself, okay? You went to friends, family, coworkers, AI, whatever that the case may be. In doing so every single time you go out to ask for their guidance, difference between guidance and perspective. So you want them to make the decision for you in a way, okay? You are ignoring your own signals. So what you're saying to your system, I don't trust myself. Let me ask someone else, what should I do with my life, okay? Now, because you ignore your own signals, that amplifies more self-doubt because I'm ignoring my signals. So I'm telling myself, I'm not as reliable to make this decision. Maybe someone else out there is, right? And so you doubt yourself more, which means less trust, okay? And then more stress because whatever decision you make that is not yours, as I was sharing, who lives with the consequences? You, my dear one, okay? And so that's why it's very important to rebuild this self-trust because you are the one living with the consequences. And the more you ignore your own signals, the more you allow any AI to make a decision for you, the more you communicate to your system, my signals don't matter. My signals don't matter. Tell me what to do. My signals don't matter. I don't trust myself. You tell me what to do, okay? So you are eroding your self-trust more and more as you continue to ask everyone else, as you continue to look outside of yourself for solutions, ideas, decisions, okay? Now drop a yes in the chat if this makes sense. Now, the thing is that the more you do this, okay? So you got the solution, you go for it, you experience more stress, you start overthinking again, you look outside of you for responses rather than staying with you and deciding what to do next. You are giving your body again a signal. My signals don't matter. Doubt, let me doubt myself, and then go out there. Who can help me? Who can make this decision for me? Because I already told my body, my signals don't matter, okay? And so you continue to erode that trust. The more you look for outside validation, outside responses, the more you erode your self-trust, because you continuously communicate to your system, I don't trust you. Whatever you think doesn't matter. Whatever you feel doesn't matter. Okay? And so this is the cycle that keeps you disconnected from yourself. Now that you see it, you can change it. Okay? Drop a yes in the chat if this makes sense. Okay? Gemma said it makes much sense. Good. Good. Because we need this awareness so that we can shift it. Okay? We need you to bring your power back, because once you understand that by saying, I trust myself to figure this out, I trust myself to make a decision, you are starting to communicate a new story to your system. Hey, I trust myself to figure out, even if it's not the best decision, even if I don't know with certainty how this will turn out. That's when we rebuild that self-trust, okay? Now, I want you to see this. The problem isn't that just one bad decision. It's thousands of tiny moments. You keep doing this, okay? You keep doing this on and on and on. You stop listening to your body on and on and on, and then your body just gives up. It's like raising a flag, and your body says, I cannot trust myself. Can somebody make the decision for me? Okay? And so we need to reconnect you with the body. Now, I want you to think about one recent decision and be very honest. Did you already knew the answer before asking other people, before asking AI? Think about one recent decision. So you wanted to make a decision, you knew what decision it was. Yep. But you knew the answer. It's just that you didn't trust yourself enough to make that decision. And so you started asking everyone else around you. Let me know in the chat if this has been your experience, where you know what you need to do, but you won't do it until a few people confirm to you that you can actually do it. Okay? Cheryl says this happened today. Yeah, Zoom says yes, possible. Beautiful. Thank you for that, Cheryl. Okay, Stacy said as well, I was writing an email, questioning it. Gemma says, yes, I wanted confirmation. Yep, okay. Now, again, when you produce something like a piece of content, right, an email, and you want confirmation, that's exactly it. You send message to your system, I don't trust you. Let me check if what you're saying is good. So you are continuing to erode that self-trust within yourself by doing so, okay? Now, there are 3 self-trust killers. And because I want to guide you through the activation as well, I will do my best to be as punctual as I can, but give you the highest value I can per minute. Okay? Now, these 3 self-trust killers are actually blocking you from reconnecting to your self-trust. One is constant self-questioning. Should I do it? Did I do it? Can I do it? Da, da, da. Second one is outsourcing decisions. Okay? We talked about this. It's you having to make decisions. You are not making the decisions. You are outsourcing your decisions. Okay? You are looking out there for validation from AI, from people, from everyone else around you. Okay? And the third one is mistaking discomfort for danger. Okay? Every single time you will choose something new, your system will register as unfamiliar. Now, the challenge is that your system confuses most of the time what's unfamiliar with danger. Okay? Now, let's take constant self-questioning. Check in with yourself and tell me if you've ever made a decision and then asking yourself if it was the wrong one. So you made a decision. Maybe you made it by yourself. Okay? You made a decision. But then, after you made the decision, you are spending hours. Was this the right decision? Should I have done something else? Da 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 da. Okay? Michelle said, yes, I can't even choose what to eat in a restaurant. Okay? Great awareness right there, Michelle, because can you see these are like small decisions that we should actually be able to make in a heartbeat. Okay? And so, very important for us to understand that, okay? So that's constant self-questioning. Now, the more you interrogate every single decision, the more your system concludes that you cannot be trusted. So if I want to eat, right? I'm hungry. I want to eat. I want to go to a restaurant. And then I just walk around, or I just continuously Google or whatever, but I cannot make up my mind. And then I need to outsource. I ask someone, I ask AI to recommend me something. What that does is sending more messages to your system. I don't trust you, human. Let me go and find someone I can trust. Okay? So we need to stop questioning. You make the decision, you stick with it, whatever comes out of it, it is, right? So you stop at a restaurant, you choose a meal, a random meal, you eat it, and once you had it, you decide if it's good or bad, and then you learn from it, right? Okay? Now, the second one is outsourcing decisions, okay? Outsourcing decisions is a big one as well, okay? Because when you outsource decision, it's not about asking for perspective, what I was sharing. Asking for perspective, you have my thumbs up. It's great to ask for perspective. Hey, what do you think about this? Hey, what do you think about this? Hey, because now I am taking my perspective and I'm just asking for more ways to look at it, right? But it's mine, okay? The problem begins when instead of saying, hey, what do you think about it? You ask, hey, decide for me. Okay? Let me just have some water. Okay? So when you outsource decisions, again, you are putting a talking to your system. I don't trust you, human. Let me find someone that I can trust, okay? Now, every time you ignore your inner knowing, you are sending a message to your brain that says, everyone else knows better than I know myself, okay? So over time, this is what happens, and a lot of you shared it, right? You stop consulting yourself altogether. Oh, ChatGPT knows. Oh, this person knows better than me what I like to eat, right? Or where I want to hang out, or where I want to live. And once you stop consulting yourself altogether, you lost, it's like deleting your self-trust forever. And that's a dangerous place to be in, okay? Third one, this is a tricky one, mistaking discomfort for danger. Now, our nervous system is designed to detect danger. It's always scanning, is this safe? Is this dangerous? But sometimes what your nervous system labels as dangerous is just because it's unfamiliar, okay? So let's take, for example, moving from one place to another, moving from one country to another, right? Your nervous system might perceive it as danger. Therefore, will force you to reconsider, to change your mind, to do all kinds of things, right? It's because it's unfamiliar. So I want you to understand this, that every single time you feel danger in your body, it's not your nervous system saying, don't go. What your nervous system is saying is, I have never been there before. Can you help me feel safe? Can you help me understand that this is unfamiliar but not danger? So I want you to remember this. Your nervous system is not saying don't go when it's uncertain. It's saying, I have never been there before. Can you help me? Can you guide me? So you don't need outside guidance. You need to listen to what your system is saying. Oh, it's perceiving danger. Oh, it's just because this is new. We just chose a new place to eat. Oh, that's okay. Maybe we don't know the menu and maybe we will stumble as we ask the menu. Oh, that's okay. There's not a big drama. It's just an unfamiliar place, right? So I want you to see this. Self-trust is built by making the right. It's not about making the right decision. It's actually proving yourself that you won't abandon yourself after making one. So I choose a restaurant and the food is not great, and then guess what? I will be fine. I will just label, okay, that restaurant is not the best. Done. Okay? So I want you to understand this. It's not about not making mistakes. It's trusting yourself that you'll be okay even if you make some. Okay? Now, there's the biggest myth here. Most people think, I'll trust myself once I stop making mistakes. Well, this life, the way it functions is it gives you the exam first and then it gives you the lessons. And so if that's the way life is constructed, that means that you will make mistakes. So if you wait to trust yourself until you stop making mistakes, you will be waiting for a long time, okay? You need to trust yourself that, hey, even if I make mistakes, I will recover fast, okay? I don't like the job, I will pivot. I don't like the restaurant, I will choose another one next time. If I didn't like the food, I abandon the food, okay, bad choice. And I go somewhere where I know the food and I like it, okay? And so instead of dwelling on the mistake, okay, this didn't work out, what can I do next, okay? Let me know in the chat, drop a yes if this makes sense, okay? Because I've been speaking a lot right now. Okay? So self-trust is not believing that you will always choose perfectly, because guess what? Even when it looks like you made the right choice, over time, sometimes it's not the right choice. So I want you to see this. It's actually believing that whatever choice I make, I stick with it, and then I adjust to navigate in whatever way I need to navigate to be okay. Time for honesty again. Where have you been expecting perfection from yourself before allowing yourself to trust yourself? Let me know. Relationships, career, family, where have you been expecting perfection, demanding perfection? I need to be perfect here. I need to make no mistakes. I need to be the perfect human being. And then I will trust myself. Okay? Career, relationship, career. Magdi says I'm perfectionist. Yep. Laura, the decision to move abroad. Mainly relationships and career, relationships, everything. Okay? So again, that's important awareness right here. I will be guiding you now through an experience, returning home to yourself. This is a 5-6 minute experience. All I want you to do is to make sure you have a comfortable position, your back straight. I will be inviting you to close your eyes in a moment. I'll be sharing the music, just telling you what to expect. All you need to do is follow my guidance. Even if you never meditated, you will be fine. Just allow your body to settle and just follow my words. And if your mind wanders, that's okay. Just imagine clouds in the sky just passing by and come back to my voice, okay? So please find a comfortable position. Take a nice deep breath in and a long exhale out. Once again, deep breath in and a long exhale out. One more time, deep breath in and a long exhale out. Place one hand on your heart and one on your belly, and remind yourself that there is nothing you need to fix right now. You don't need to make any decisions. You are here to simply reconnect with the one person you've perhaps been listening to the least, yourself. If you're comfortable, gently close your eyes. Take a slow breath in and let your exhale be just a little longer. Again, breathing in and breathing out. Allow your shoulders to soften. Relax your jaw. Feel your feet resting on the floor beneath you. Notice that in this moment you are supported. Nothing to solve, nothing to prove, just this moment. Now, bring to mind one decision, situation, or area of your life that you've been overthinking recently. Don't analyze it, just let it come into your awareness. As you notice it, become curious about your body. Where do you feel it? In your chest? In your stomach? In your throat? Simply notice. Because before your mind starts telling you a story, your body is already having a conversation. Take another slow breath. And now quietly ask yourself, what do I already know that I haven't fully trusted? Don't search for an answer. Simply ask the question and notice whatever arises. What do I already know that I haven't fully trusted? Notice whatever arises. A word, a feeling, an image, or perhaps only silence. All of it is welcome. Now ask yourself one final question. If I trusted myself just 5% more than I do today, what would become possible? Allow that question to land. If I trusted myself just 5% more than I do today, what would become possible? Notice what shifts. Maybe your breathing changes. Maybe your posture softens. Maybe nothing dramatic happens at all. And that's okay. Because rebuilding self-trust rarely begins with one huge leap. It begins with one honest moment like this. One moment where you stop asking everyone else and begin listening to yourself. Take one final breath and silently repeat. I don't need certainty to take my next step. I only need to stay connected to myself. We are going to repeat this 2 more times with more conviction. I don't need certainty to take my next step. I only need to stay connected to myself. We are going to say it one more time. I don't need certainty to take my next step. I only need to stay connected to myself. Take a nice deep breath in and a long exhale out. Slowly wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, you can slowly come back and open your eyes. Beautiful. Now, all I want you to notice is how are you feeling right now? How do you feel compared to maybe even 10 minutes ago before this experience? There is no right or wrong answer. It's just your honesty that helps you tap in into the changes that we can create when we allow this kind of moments to happen. Moments where we silence the noise and we allow ourselves to listen to our inner voice just a bit more than we normally do. Okay? Now, I want to leave you with a practical tool for today. It's the self-trust reset formula. Basically, this is something that I want you to have in your toolbox from today onwards. Every single time you notice that you are spiraling back into self-doubt, you are spiraling back into not trusting yourself and not trusting that you will be okay no matter the decisions you choose to make. Okay? Now, this specific sequence from the self-trust reset formula is specifically designed to help you break from the old pattern. Okay? The first step is pause. And when I say pause, I want you to understand that your old pattern will naturally come online. So every single time you will want to make a decision, that same old pattern, that same old friend will start creeping in, trying to convince you that you are not capable, you cannot do it, you're not good enough, it's not the right time, and so on and so forth. And instead of blocking yourself or stopping yourself, I want you to breathe deeply, okay? To pause and say, hey, this is the old pattern. So when we pause, we are just noticing that our system is trying to restart the same pattern, right? So we pause, we don't act on it, we just notice, oh, I'm feeling again that tension in my chest or in my belly. Interesting, that's the old pattern. Let me regulate my body, bring my body back to safety, and then let's see what's next to do, right? So when we regulate, the easiest way, the fastest way to do so is by taking a few deep conscious breaths. Do it with me. Take a nice deep breath in and a long exhale out. Once again, let's just do 3 and see if this helps. Deep breath in and a long exhale out. One more time, deep breath in and a long exhale out. Now, this took about 10 seconds or less, and this is the easiest way you can regulate your body. Why? Because if you have 10 seconds to do deep breathing, your body says, hey, there is no danger in the here and now. Therefore, we must be safe, okay? That's what your body needs before any decisions. And now I want you to notice what's happening, what's the situation that is triggering those reactions in your body, triggering that self-doubt again, triggering a lack of trust again. I want you to just notice, okay, so I'm doubting myself again, right? And once your body is in a place where you feel safe now, I want you to choose differently. So all these examples we have been using today, whatever your specific situation is, if you normally would never go to that restaurant, I challenge you to choose differently. Try and go to a new restaurant. Try, even if it's, a restaurant that you have no idea about the menu, you feel like you'll embarrass yourself, and so on and so forth. Go there, choose differently. Go against what the old pattern was, or not against, just on a different path. We are not here to fight the old patterns. We are gently stopping traveling on the same path and creating new pathways that show your system evidence that now it's safe to move differently, right? So let's say you choose to go to that new restaurant now, and we have two scenarios. The food was great, fine. You had a great experience. Your system now, as you reflect, your system gets, oh, we made a new choice and that was a good experience. Now, if the food wasn't great and you didn't like it at all, okay, now we get to reflect and we also learn from the experience, okay? Maybe it wasn't necessarily the right choice, but what did I learn here? Well, I learned that this is not the kind of restaurant that I prefer, and that next time I won't go there, okay? And now, if the food is so terrible while you are there, you won't force yourself to eat it, okay? So what we do in that situation is, okay, maybe this was not the right choice. I don't know, I donate the food, or I give it back and explain that it wasn't what I was expecting, or I don't know, I just put it in the bin, and then I go to a place that I know the food that I like and trust, and I make another decision. Now, in this specific scenario, there is no right or wrong, okay? So all I want you to see is that if we make a mistake, right? We try something new, we make a mistake, it doesn't work out, there are always plenty of solutions. So once you focus on getting yourself out of whatever situation, trusting yourself that you can take yourself out of any situation that you don't like, that's when you strengthen that muscle. That's when you reset the formula, okay? That's when the formula actually works for you, okay? I hope that this makes sense for you. And I want to challenge you to do one practice for this week. Every single evening, as you come home, you have your own routines. I just want you to do this as soon as you get to chill a little bit, okay? And I want you to reflect and notice, where did I trust myself today? And I want you to notice the moment where you made choices, where you showed yourself that you can trust yourself. And if you make a mistake, you can still trust yourself to get yourself out of that situation, okay? And then I want you to also reflect, where did I override myself today? I want you to notice how that old pattern is still showing up in your day, okay? And then the following day, I just want you to notice where the old pattern came into today, and then try just to make 1% adjustment the next day. Because real change and forming new pathways often come from small, consistent daily actions, okay? So what we've discovered today is why self-trust disappears. We explored the self-trust erosion cycle, okay? How stress disrupts our clarity, why overthinking isn't the real problem, and a practical framework to rebuild your trust. Now, what we did here was to create awareness. Why? Because we cannot change what we don't notice. So if we don't see it in ourselves, if we don't notice these patterns in ourselves, that means that we just do them automatically. Therefore, we cannot change them. Now, awareness changes what you can see. So this session had the purpose to notice, I see what I'm doing now. I'm expecting to know the outcome before I take action. Interesting, right? But I just want you to see, because you've traveled that path, you've eroded your self-trust, and you've outsourced your trust to people outside of you or systems outside of you. Now your system automatically reaches out for someone outside of you when it needs that self-trust. And so I want you to see this, that this is a root problem now, where the pattern is deeply ingrained in your system. And in order to change the pattern, we need to go deeper. Now, that's the reason why I created the self-trust reset. It will help you rebuild trust in yourself and in your decisions. We have 3 powerful activations that are literally going to upgrade your nervous system, how your relationship with you gets to happen from that day onwards. Because we might realize it or not, But the most important relationship you will ever have throughout your life is the relationship you have with yourself. Okay? So I want you to see that everyone else outside of you that you are relying on, we don't know if they will always be there, but we do know who is going to always be there for you. You. And so we need to make sure the relationship you have with you, your autonomy, your sovereignty, your self-authority, stay with you, your agency, okay? All of this needs to stay with you throughout your life. If what we did tonight feels enough for you right now in your journey, I'm just hoping that it helped you see how to trust yourself more. And if you feel like you are ready to go deeper, I'll be more than happy to guide you inside this deep immersion, okay? So it's happening Saturday, 11 July from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And we will have 3 immersions, 3 activations to help your system recalibrate to self-trust, okay? So you just got the preview of the work, but imagine spending 2 hours together upgrading your nervous system. This is what we do. So if you are seeing how you're sabotaging yourself, Saturday we change it from the root, okay? So we are going to do guided nervous system work, deeper reflections, and you will also get a workbook to integrate, and you will get practical challenges so that you get to change and shift, okay? Now, what we are doing there is we are exploring at a deeper level where your specific patterns of doubt have been installed, and then how to reconnect with your guidance so that you can trust everything that you are doing, okay? Now, we are actually reshaping the patterns, so I want you to see it just as rewriting the program. We are rewriting the program your nervous system has gotten. So you told your nervous system, I don't trust you. We are teaching your nervous system, oh, actually, I can trust myself, okay? And I want to leave you with one final reflection. I invite you to finish this sentence. You can do it in the chat. The version of me I want to become trusts herself enough to fill in the blanks. The version of you you want to become. Think about the version of you you want to become, because you are here for a reason. There's a version of you you want to bring online, okay? The version of you you want to become trusts herself enough to do what? Okay? Clarify that with yourself, because it's very important, especially now as you integrate this work. Okay, Gemma says be authentic. Beautiful, beautiful. And I want you to see that the quality of your life will always be equal to the quality of the relationship you have with yourself. Not with someone else, not with AI, not with other people, but with yourself. So if you don't like yourself, you will be finding yourself chasing other people for validation, for decisions, for opinions, and you will not be able to sit with yourself and ask yourself, hey, what do I need? How do I feel? What's next for me? Okay? So every single act of self-trust comes with one simple decision. Stop abandoning what you already know, because you know what you need to do. However, you now have been doubting yourself so much that you are seeking validation and you are seeking external sources to tell you what you already know. So stop abandoning that. Start bringing it online, because your soul is guiding you to return to yourself, okay? Thank you so much for being here tonight. I hope from the bottom of my heart that you got some value out of this session. I just shared the link again if you guys want to check out the Self-Trust Reset. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your beautiful energy, for your openness, your vulnerability. It has been an amazing process to support you tonight, and I hope that what we explored tonight will help you on your journey moving forward. Thank you so much. I will be uploading the replay, and I'll be sending it out for all of you to see it again and maybe allow it to land deeper in your system. Thank you so much. Have a blessed evening, and looking forward to seeing you again soon. Take care. Bye. Thank you, Rika. Thank you, Fiona. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Paulina. Thank you, Zoom user. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Noel. Namaste. Thank you, Laura. I'm glad it was helpful.